Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Cash Physical Therapy Headquarters Podcast. Check. Is my mic still on? Working, Mike or Ben?
That's good. Yeah,
Cool.
that's good.
Just switch it to the new one because I don't want anyone to miss what it is that we're talking about here today, which is literally the most groundbreaking, game-changing thing that any entrepreneur will ever install into their business. We're talking about the only AI tool that any entrepreneur needs going into their practice to have more accurate data, to automate a lot of the workflows within their business, to automate their marketing. This is literally changing every single thing about running and operating a business, and it costs as little as $50 a month. We're talking about your hardest working, lowest paid employee that works around the clock 24/7, that knows more about running and operating a seven-figure cash physical therapy practice than you do if you're listening to this. It's absolutely insane, right? And we've entered in a brand new era. So Ben, let me hit you with the kind of same question that I got when I first discovered this tool. If I told you that there's a full-time employee available for $50 a month who handles all of your marketing, builds your reports, tracks your data, answers your emails, runs your ads, would you hire him?
Yeah, but I call bullshit.
that's what I said too, because Max and I, we're really savvy with AI. We use Manus, we use Claude Code, we use Gemini, Nana Banana, Higgs Field, like we use all of them. And having a software engineering background, we had felt like we already kind of had this game figured out, at least better than everyone else. And so we resisted this tool, which is called Viktor. And we resisted it because every single time someone said some of the things it could do, I'd be like, I can build that in these other things, until I sat down and actually installed it and instantly had my mind. I'm not going to swear like I really want to right now, but it like exploded. Okay. There's so much capability, and right out of the box, it is so incredibly powerful, and it goes right to work on not just finding gaps and flaws within your business, but actually going and doing those things for you. And so we've entered into a new era of AI for business owners, and Viktor is without a doubt the most powerful one I've ever touched. It's going to change every single industry. Ben, what were your initial thoughts when you first installed Viktor?
I'll actually back it up a little bit because I remember when you sent it to me, and I was like, "Geez, another freaking AI tool." I was like, because it was also at the time that I was switching from ChatGPT more and using more to Claude, and
Yeah.
then it was also the same time I was looking at Manus, and it's like there's these three different AI tools that everybody's talking about, and I'm like, I don't know if I have enough time for another fourth because I just got done pretty much outsourcing. Like ChatGPT was what I was using entirely, and
Mhm.
so it had a pretty good um, background on my business and all that too. And then I also have Hormozi's AI as well. And so like I've trained, installed all these different knowledge bases on these different AI software, and finally got everything migrated over to Claude. And then you sent over Viktor. And I was like, yeah, just like I just got done doing all this stuff. I don't want to do another one. So I was like,
Mhm.
whatever. I think it was like I think it was like I can't remember. I think it was a week. It was a weekend when you sent it over to me. I was like, let's just
Mhm.
take a look at it and see what's going on. And so I think I did. And I like for the next like 7 days, I think I logged like 50 to 60 hours
Yeah, right.
building that.
I remember before I sent it over to you, I actually had a moment of guilt because I remember just like 2, 3 weeks before that, we're gassing you up about a different AI tool. And I know you started using it right away. And then here I was like a few weeks later being like, oh, you thought that was cool? Like that's ancient history now. Like, look at this. And it's crazy. And the number of hours that, you and I have spent on just dozens of different AI tools is insane. We've tried them all, and for the most part, most of them, are cool, but a lot of them have been kind of disappointing. Where it's cool at first, and then you start to find like where the limits are and how good it is and where its shortcomings are, and it starts to be a little lackluster. Viktor is the only one that not only can use every other LLM model out there. So most AI tools out there, Viktor is able to integrate with and use on your behalf. So it's kind of like an all-in-one, but nothing has impressed me more than what Viktor is able to do right out of the box. And that's not even including all of the skill packs and things that we've trained your Viktor on, that we've passed on to other people. So you can like soup this thing up like it's a fucking Honda Civic. Like you have unlimited ability with this thing. It's crazy. And so today let's take it a step back, because it's not a subscription. It is not just another AI tool to use. It is literally an employee. So let's talk about like the 3 different stages that AI has gone through, just to help everyone kind of conceptualize where we're at with AI. Okay, because in 2023, that's when AI, ChatGPT, everything first released, and that's basically AI chatbots. And we're all blown away by that. That was when we first started to realize, like, we are absolutely going to screw humanity over. We're gonna cause the AI apocalypse. We're going to put ourselves into the matrix. Like it's all kind of plausible now that we're starting to see just like the extent of how powerful it truly is. And so AI chatbots, like what were you using ChatGPT for when it first came out then?
I mean, mainly it's like writing newsletters, helping like formulate like wording, email campaigns that we were sending out.
Yeah.
Just scanning documents, like long documents that just provide like, hey, provide summary. A lot of random stuff, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I just wasn't really quite sure on how to leverage it
Yeah.
at the time too. And like you said, it just kind of has its own limitations too.
Yep.
To a
So
certain extent, especially like ChatGPT, like a year and a half ago, there's a lot of limitations to it. So.
right. So like when it first came out, it's just like, holy crap, like this is cool. I'm gonna ask it a bunch of like obscene questions and see what it says, and like having fun with it that way. And it became kind of like the search engine. It started to replace our Google searches. Even today, like when I have a question, like I go to ChatGPT for like a quick research question, or if Jenna and I are laying in bed like we were last night and we're wondering like, why are hornets such assholes? Like, why do they just sting everybody? And we're like, now we can't go to bed until we know. And so we ask ChatGPT, because that's just one of the random things that we do before bed sometimes. And so that's really what all AI was in 2023, going into 2025 even. But in 2025, that's when its capabilities and its model got way more advanced. And now we're entrepreneurs are starting to realize, like, holy crap, this thing can write emails, it can do newsletters, it can help plan out content. And so AI, whether it's Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, Gronk, like whatever you're using, that's when all of these models started pouring into the market and being more of like co-pilots to your business. Like they can help do tasks, but still you as the human, the driver, are still required for every single one of those tasks. Like you'd have it write the emails, but you would need to spend a lot of time training it how to write those emails, training it on who you're writing those emails for, and re-prompting it to try to get a response that wasn't just some AI slop. And then when it's done, you have this finished product and you still have to copy and paste that project, go put it into, MailChimp or High Level, like whatever the hell you're using for like emails and stuff. And so it became a co-pilot that helped make us way more efficient, but still we were required to do the tasks. We're just doing all the tasks a heck of a lot faster. Right. And so that was groundbreaking. Like we've had a tremendous amount of fun doing that. Like, what are some of the things that pre-agentic AI, which is what Viktor is, where he goes and actually does the tasks for you? Like what were some of the other things that, like, what are the AI tools you're using and how were you using them?
Yeah, I mean the newsletter stuff. The main thing that was like most frustrating for me was the thread would time out. Like it's like, oh, this thread's too long. You guys start a new one. I'm like, what do you mean? And so like that was like the most frustrating thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, mainly it's like research, things I was trying to research, just random things, like, what's the best tools? Like that's what we've been really ramping up our SEO and stuff like that. And so using that for SEO purposes to analyze different website pages of mine, ways to improve it, stuff like that. So that's another thing. But again, I had to manually do that. It would just tell me what changes I should do, but at the end of the day, I had to go in and still update the website too. So
Yeah. And even like custom GPTs, or Claude projects, like all of those things, like they were groundbreaking, revolutionary without question. But even like if you had this fully trained GPT, to your point of like you'd have to start like a new check, so you'd like run out. The other biggest problem that is so damn frustrating with some of those is it doesn't have like a persistent memory. So you might have all these instructions, but then as you're, several thousand characters down in that chat working through this project, it starts to forget all the things that you already instructed it to do. And now you're prompting it to like take out all the damn M dashes, sound more human, like all of that crap. And so even though we put all this time into like building this like knowledge base, it wouldn't always listen to it. And the more that we used it, the longer the project was, the more sloppy the AI got, which is so frustrating. And so that's why prompt engineering was like, we have to become like master prompt engineers to shorten how much time it takes to get to a quality output. Otherwise, it turns into this big, massive project where you're screaming and swearing at it and smashing your keyboard. And it still wouldn't be that great. And so that's kind of the large flaw with Claude, ChatGPT, like all those models, which don't get me wrong, I still use them for like certain tasks. And even when using Viktor, there's certain projects where I'm like, oh, use Claude Opus 4.6 for this, or use Gemini or Nano Banana for this, because it's about like credit optimization. Because I don't need the strongest LLM in the world to write an email. And so it's like I optimize the kind of credit usage I'm using to save money by having different LLM tools do different projects. So I still use those tools, but they're fundamentally flawed because they don't have a persistent memory and they can't actually do the work for you. Now, Claude's come a long way, and it does have elements of this. Manus is another one that we use regularly for building out platforms and like software applications. But and they can do a lot of those things in Viktor. That's why I like resisted doing that until I actually installed it and realized like, holy crap, this is a million times easier. Like anybody can do this. Whereas Manus and Claude Code, that requires a level of savviness that most people don't have. Luckily, Max and I do have it. But then Viktor, like anybody can use all the tools in there. So that brings us to today, Agentic AI, where AI not only like helps plan the projects, but then actually goes and does those projects, whether it's writing emails, responding to clients, analyzing ads, tracking all of our data, actually managing and updating those ads, planning out your social media content, posting that content. Like, I'm not when I say that this changes everything. Like it's agencies are screwed. Agencies and like coaching businesses even that don't adapt and use this and promote this and teach people how to use it are going to be replaced without question. That's why we've gone all in on using Viktor. So tell us a little bit more about like when you first installed Viktor, what was that like? What was your first impression, and what are some of the first things that you did with it?
Yeah, so the things that go through my brain when I'm testing new things is one, how easy of use is it? Not because I have to be able to make sure that, hey, it's not super complicated, because I also need to be able to coach my team on it who doesn't have an engineering background. Also, another filter that I put things through is this something that would be worthwhile, and is it realistic for the mastermind as well? So I'm thinking about my team. Because I'm like, I've got the time to be able to like learn all this stuff, but does my team, do the clients at Clinical Marketer have time to and bandwidth to have the the learning curve of it? And the answer with Viktor was yes. It's that simple to use. Like Manus, yeah, you mentioned like I'm decently savvy on it. I had a lot of things manually connected to Manus as well, and it just took so much time and it's so complicated.
Yeah.
to do it, because you got to have coding and all that stuff. And it's just like, that's just not realistic for my team. It's also not realistic for our clients. So when I came across Viktor and how easy it was to integrate everything, I'm like, wow, this is something that will work not just for ProKinetics and my team, but also the people within the mastermind too. So that was like my first thing that I kind of gauge when I'm testing something out, like my sniff test on it. Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
might work for people, is it gonna work for others on it too? That might not have the ability or the time to do the learning curve on it. So
Yeah.
yeah, first thing I did was I connected everything. It was so easy to connect. Every single thing within ProKinetics is connected to Viktor. Viktor knows my business inside out. He might even know my business better than I do at this point.
Hmm.
He
That's what
has,
impressed me.
yeah. And so it's all knowing, and it's not something that, you have to, oh, ran out of memory on this thread, you have to start a new one either. So it's constantly updating and constantly learning
Mm.
consistently with the more data that you get. So that's kind of my first thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away right out of the gate because when you install Victor, the first thing that you do is you're brought to the screen of every single tool that's out there for business owners. Like there's very few that I've found that aren't in there. PT Everywhere isn't in there, but we found a very simple workaround to that. But it connects to your social media accounts. It connects to your advertising accounts. It connects to your high level accounts, your any CRM that you're currently having, Typeform, uh, any software, anything that you're doing through a computer. Victor connects to instantly. It's insanely easy. You don't need to deal with like API keys for the most part. And so it's really easy to connect this. And within 5 minutes, Victor knows every single thing about your business, all of the gaps, and the first thing that he goes and does is analyzes what are all the things that I could be doing for you so that you never have to do it again. And so right away, you get a full analysis of your entire business and how you can use agentic AI to streamline all of your operations. It's crazy. I've never seen anything out of the box be that impactful. And that was before I even got done with the free, you know, 150 credits or something that I think they give you. Like I used those up in the first day, but how much I was able to get done before that happened was crazy. I had it analyze every single Zoom call we had done with our clients in the last 6 months. I had it go through our entire course curriculum, analyze our entire community Slack threads to identify, based off of our curriculum and these calls and the questions people are asking and the questions people are asking in our Slack community, where are the gaps within our course curriculum that we need to fine tune and sharpen to minimize some of the support that's required. And literally minutes have an entire report on how to transition the entire business to an agentic AI model with faster support, faster results, and better communication. And that was before I even was done with the free trial. So on the coaching side, it's insane. What are some of the first things that you did with Victor once you got in there?
Connecting to literally everything. So PT Everywhere, Meta Ads, Google Sheets, Gmail, our Calendly, our phone software, Ring Central, Google Drive, Google Analytics, Indeed, our Asana, Jotform, Slack, connected to everything. Like the more information that Victor has, the better that he's going to be able to help us out on it. Connected to our entire Google Drive, so it knows everything. There's not, from my knowledge, he's connected to literally everything within that we use within ProKinetics. And if he's not connected to something that we use, we're not using it very often. Because I haven't. Anytime that I've come across something that he's not connected to that I'm using, I connect him to on it. So yeah, that's the first thing I did was I connect him to that, and then also the thing that takes the most time for me each month is end of month reports.
Mm.
If you guys hate analyzing data or you don't know how to track data, Victor can do it. Like he runs all my end of month reports, so I can tell. I know what the conversion rate is for that month for each not just a clinic, but each PT, each location. I know the result of every single evaluation. I know how many drop-offs we had, how many new patients do we get, how many new Facebook leads did we get, what was our lead to call rate, what was our call to eval rate, what was our eval conversion rate, what was our continuity ascension, what was our churn on our continuity.
Mm.
All data that I track within ProKinetics is now tracked by Victor, and he sends me a report at the end of each month, and also updates our spreadsheet for me as well. So like we have each person within ProKinetics has a scorecard, and it's all just based on data. I've got it. So when I go into my L10 weekly L10 meetings with the clinic directors, we go and pull the scorecard up. Victor's already populated it for us. So we look at like how do we do each week. We fill out a scorecard on how we did last week. We pull it up. It's already completed for us, and we just analyze the data and we talk about it. Right. So so really data collection is the biggest thing that I had them start doing right away for us.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem that practices have. They don't track their numbers. They don't want to track their numbers. Can't be bothered because they don't want to see the truth of how bad they're actually doing. That it's more comfortable to go off of gut feelings most of the time. But now it's so easy. Victor does it 100% automated. It can pull the data so you know it's accurate because it's connected to the platforms with that data, whether it's high level or PT everywhere. It can combine that data so you're not pulling it from two different sources. It can build out those dashboards for you to connect everything so you can see all your data in one place, and it can tell you exactly what your biggest problem is. And so anything that involves creating landing pages, creating dashboards, pulling data, analyzing that data, and then taking action on that data, Victor does all of that. It's nuts. At Clinical Marketer Live, we're very, very blessed to have like amazing clients, but that have gotten like insane results. But we had so many of our clients who have scaled from, $20K a month to now doing 7 figures that we're forced to create a new inner circle mastermind just for clients who have scaled to 7 figures because they were more advanced than our mastermind program. And the calls in there became diluted with some like lower level questions that didn't serve them anymore. And so we launched our Inner Circle Mastermind. We got 14 clinics in there right now. And Victor's one of the core things that we're helping them not only install into their practice, but now training their Victor to be their most effective employee, training them on how to manage their Facebook ads, training them how to manage their Google ads, training them on reporting, training them on data analysis and finding the constraint so that they don't need to wait a week to hop on a call to figure out like what's their real problem and then how do I actually fix that. And so Victor, you're able to train. And the cool thing about him is that he has a persistent memory. He remembers all context across your entire business. And so even if you're going off track and you're working on something dumb, he'll tell you that and kind of like be your coach, be your co-CEO, which is nuts. And so I asked our Inner Circle members who we've installed Victor for, trained it up on some of the things that they have started to use it for. And they're creating better dynamic landing pages for their meta ads. We had Jamie and Larry Frank have record like meta ad performance months because Victor is the one that's going in and identifying which ads do we need to scale, which ones do we need to turn off, and what is it that we need to do next. Using it to do all reportings, all KPIs, filling out KPI spreadsheets, reporting on it. Let's see.
My favorite thing was Jason used Victor to answer that question.
Yeah, right.
The man himself, and then it's just like this report of what Victor wrote as well. So I love how people are really thinking outside the box on how to use them in everything as well. So I thought that was great. It's
the ultimate assistant. So Jason's using it to get nightly owner digest. So all the reports on the performance of his entire practice on how many visits, the visit summary, who converted, what the cancellation was, the no-shows, the speed to lead, how many reviews, what tomorrow's calendar looks like, tracking his entire pipeline on who needs to get followed up with, weekly automations, weekly AI KPI reporting, weekly revenue scorecards, monthly KPI fills, and then he's got automations for Google reviews, posting and monitoring social media to reply to comments, Sunday automation review. Victor audits all of its own automations weekly, reports what ran, what failed, what wasted credits, and recommends improvements. So it's self-optimizing. Biggest win so far. Okay, the automations, the weekly numbers have been his number one thing, just having absolute clarity all the time.
Yeah. One thing that
Larry
we've been,
Frank, record ads month because Victor's taken over. Then Cameron's just went to town on this. The number of things that he's already done. He was my favorite one when we first taught Victor at Clinical Marketer Live. He didn't pick his head up once the rest of that event because it was just so deep. Just working in Victor,
yeah,
texting Michelle
I
was like,
was,
"This is going to change our lives."
I was sitting next to him, like, I feel like Victor's cheating on me because now I'm
Yeah,
about to that's using him.
yeah. It's crazy. And now it's like a lot of the things that an admin does, shy of, hiring, handling like phone calls, Victor handles like all the internal stuff. And it doesn't like replace like employees, but makes them 10 times more efficient and effective because all the reporting, all the data, all that stuff is done and then can be put into really beautiful, elegant like dashboards and reports that can then be reported on, and then we can determine like, okay, what's the best way to do this? And some things Victor will go and do on their behalf while they go and work on other stuff. It's bananas.
Yeah. I think the one thing that's been helping us immensely is it also allows me to, the thing that's been the biggest struggle for ProConnects with scaling is making sure no things are getting slipping through the cracks. And it's just impossible for me to audit everything. Like we send welcome text to patients before they come in for their eval from the treating PT. It allows me to audit it every morning. It tells me, hey, did anybody get missed? And if so, it tags the sales team to make sure that text gets sent out.
Mm-hmm.
Outstanding balances, it sends a report to our front desk at the end of each week. What were all the declined payments that we need to follow up on?
Yeah.
It also scans PT everywhere and looks at the upcoming week. On Monday morning, it sends each PT a breakdown of their upcoming schedule for the week and shows, hey, these are all the patients that have 2 or fewer visits scheduled on the books for upcoming, like for the future. Make sure to book those out for the remainder, like book them out. So it helps decrease drop-offs. It also helps us manage our wait list. So sometimes PTs forget like to add somebody to the wait list. So what it does is it analyzes the week. So beginning of Monday, it looks, hey, who had an appointment scheduled for last week, and also has an appointment scheduled for the future, but does not currently have anything on the books for this week, because that's a good indication that they weren't able to get in this week due to availability since they were seen previously and also have upcoming appointments. And so it tells the front desk, hey, consider these individuals for reaching out to the wait list to fill openings and reschedules that come in. So our utilization rate is also higher. So it's just improving the patient experience across the board on that. So a lot of it's been really great to see from an auditing perspective on anything that we might be dropping the ball on or slipping through the cracks on things.
Yeah, speaking of that, my favorite like instant gratification moment from any of the inner circle people was Jesse and Carter. They had been struggling with their ads in their area, and they're convinced it's like, oh, ads just, I don't think it works like in our area. It's too small, blah, blah, blah. But the first thing that Victor did once it was installed was audit everything and instantly found that their landing pages that they had been driving traffic to, their Facebook tracking pixel wasn't installed correctly. And so they've been running ads for months without the ability for Facebook to optimize and track anything. And so they fixed that. Now their ads are back in action. And they never would have found that had they not installed Victor. And they didn't even have to ask Victor. Victor just found it because it analyzes. I keep bouncing between it and he, but it's a he to me.
I told Victor you identify as a male. So
yeah, he's generated enough cash flow and peace of mind in the business where I think he is entitled to a little bit more of a personality and an identity. So yeah, Victor is for sure a he. And yeah, so like they wouldn't have had that huge discovery that changed everything if they hadn't just installed Victor and let Victor go to work. And Victor didn't just find that, he went and fixed it. They didn't have to do anything, which is just nuts.
Yeah,
Just nuts.
Another thing that's crazy that I'm working on installing right now is he's connected to my Google Analytics.
Yeah.
There is also software that you can install a code on your website, and it does slow down your website. I used to have it, I took it off, but it allows you to gauge data and see how people are interacting with the website. So it actually shows
Mhm.
like each user's cursor and where they're clicking, what they're reading and stuff like that, and it shows your bounce rate. So like what pages are people leaving? So it allows you to figure out, hey, what is the pages that are losing people?
Yep.
What are some things and changes you should consider for improving your website? So that's something I'm having Victor work on right now, is connecting that software to analyze that, and paired with our Google Analytics and all things traffic to our
Yeah.
website, to be able, and then have him give us recommendations on what things we should change with our copy on our website to increase our conversion rate on our website even further. So that's something that we're working on right now too.
Absolutely nutty. I'm not sure if it wouldn't be the most convenient because Victor has the most advanced like safeguards for data and what it can and can't do without permission. Like there's a tool called OpenClaw, which was like the first instance of true agentic AI, but there's so many cases of Victor going totally rogue and spending like $50,000 or $1 million of people's
You
money
mean
to
OpenClaw,
like
not Victor. You mean OpenClaw, not Victor.
Oh, OpenClaw. Yeah, OpenClaw did this. And so like there are no safeguards with OpenClaw. Anything on a computer, OpenClaw can go and do, which has advantages. But obviously, as a business owner, that's a big risk, especially if you're not very tech savvy and you're not used to working with AI. Victor, on the other hand, has all these safeguards in place. So before it goes and make changes to your ads or to your website, it's going to say like, okay, here's what needs to happen. Here's why. Here's what I'm going to do about it. Can I go and do it? And then you have to hit approve. And so there is like an action that you need to take before it can update your ads, your website, and do a lot of these things, which is really, really good. But its ability to actually get the work done is crazy. And now fortunately, we got, we can train up our victors and train its skills just like we do with employees. And we have to be patient in training it just like we are with employees, but it learns way faster. And you can talk to it however you want, which I think is fun. You can't talk to it. You have to be careful with an employee. With Victor, when he messes up, you
He
can just
knows
let
about
him
it.
have it.
Yeah, he knows about
Yeah, he's my digital punching bag for sure. But what we've been doing for our clients is once they install Victor right out of the box, we install the skill pack. So all the skills that we have trained Victor on within, Ben's practice, ProKinetics, we then are able to take those skill packs and deploy them to all of our clients using Victor so that they don't have to make the same mistakes we did and make Victor way better right out of the box. And so we have a lot of like skill packs. So all the things that Ben has mentioned as we're discovering it and creating these new skills within Ben's Victor, we're then exporting those skill packs and then deploying them to all of our clients' Victors. So for example, we have 8 skills just on daily operations. We have 5 skills on revenue and collections and reporting. We have 4 skills on lead management, speed to lead, lead tracker, form submissions. We have 5 skills on ads and marketing, meta ads, Google ads, KPI tracking. We have 5 skills on team performance, managing and analyzing sales scorecards, call reviews, and eval audits. We have 4 skills on patient experience alone, continuity monitor, churn alerts, and birthdays. And so those are just the skills that we've created already. 46 skills across 11 different categories that we installed directly into our clients' Victors, and we're just getting started. Our goal by the end of the year, and I think we're going to hit it a hell of a lot faster, is fully automated Meta and Google ad management. We've already gotten it pretty damn close. Now it's just refining the skill pack through repetition. So we're training it on our methodology for scaling cash physical therapy meta ads, because right out of the box, it's taking information from a lot of different industries and it's not always giving the best advice. It's still pretty damn good than people doing it solo once they have the right campaign structure. But we're setting it up so that within a couple clicks, it goes and launches our proven ad framework, manages it. And then the way we're training it is through repetition of like, oh, this is bad advice, this is good advice. It's developing that skill. And so very soon our clients won't even have to touch their ads or really learn how to manage them, because Viktor is just going to handle that for Meta, for Google. Eventually we'll get TikTok in there. And then we fully automated all SEO. Now, the way you're using it for your website, Viktor can do a lot, but because you have to approve things, that's going to be kind of a pain in the butt at scale anyway. But you can use Viktor to automate your SEO as well. Integrate them with an SEO management platform to figure out what keywords you need to be optimizing for. And then he will handle creating the backlinks, the on-page SEO, writing all the blogs, and then you'll just have to click a button for those changes to go live. So Viktor can, anything's possible.
Yeah, he's been helping me write our new web pages for our website. They identify that, hey, you rank really well for San Diego and Oakland and Des Moines, but you should start targeting other areas that are in the San Diego area, like specific pages for specific downtown San Diego, Little Italy, San Diego, Coronado, San Diego, La Jolla, stuff like that. And so he created individual pages for me and wrote the copy, and then also helped me figure out how we can leverage that page for SEO further. So he's
nutty. Now, the only thing about Viktor is you have to be using Slack. Okay, Slack is the team management platform. It's kind of like a community chat-based platform. And so that is where Viktor lives, just like an employee. So if you're already using Slack, perfect. Even if you're solo, get the free version of Slack and install Viktor. He will help you with all of your local research, your outreach, your planning, your tracking, figuring out what you need to do next to get more patients in the door. That is your best friend, especially if you can't afford a coach. Get Viktor in there. Out of the box is still better than, truthfully, a lot of the coaches that are out there. Viktor's still going to do a better job. Now, there's a lot of work to be done before Viktor is like truly world class and knows more about scaling practices than you do. But highly recommend that everyone gets Slack and install this. We did provide a link that if you want to try out Viktor, you get your first 150 credits for free, and you can do a lot with those credits. I mean, I went to town, clinical marketers, a multi-7-figure business, and it processed a lot more information for me than you did. And I still had it for free for almost an entire day. How long did your free trial last, Ben?
Oh, a few hours.
Yeah, right. So
I was going to town. Yeah, it was quite the binge for a week. But
yeah. So beneath this video, if you have Slack, go and install Viktor right now. Go and see what this thing can do for you. If you don't have Slack, go and install Slack. Come back, get that video, and I'm probably going to put a link to download Slack beneath this video once we're done here. But download it and just see what it is capable of doing. So we're continuing to build out skill packs to provide to our folks who are using Viktor and those who are inside of our Limitless DPT Circle community. And so we're going to continue to roll out new skills to train your Viktor to make sure that it is your hardest working, most profitable, lowest paid employee that works for you 24/7 and takes all the stuff that you don't want to have to learn off of your plate so you can focus on the stuff that's truly important inside of your practice. So go to the link beneath this video, click that link, install Viktor, and let us know what your initial thoughts are with it. I've yet to find one person whose mind wasn't absolutely blown by the effectiveness and the how much it truly understands about your business from the first 5 minutes of this thing being installed.
Yeah, everybody's mind's been blown. I think it was actually really cool to release that at the event, because you're able to see in person people's minds and just light up and just see how excited people were. And it kind of just changes the way, and it improves your optimism about your business even so much. And so it was just fun to see that in person, because I know if we would have released it like we are now virtually, wouldn't have been able to see it. So it was really fun to see looks on everybody's faces as they were building it out. And also especially sitting next to Cameron at the event and just watching him just have a heyday with it.
Yep. Yeah, it is absolutely insane. Did you have any objections to installing Viktor when you first got to it? Like, what were your was there any hesitation, any
The
doubts?
only thing is, I was like, I don't know if I want my team to have all this access, because there is like the thing that I made a mistake on is like there's some private information, like my taxes, my personal taxes are in our Prokinetics Google Drive, and
Yeah,
they are hidden as private, so like I'm the only one that can see it. But if Victor has access to it, he can see private, public, and the team can pull data, any data that's Victor has, right? And so there were some safeguards I had to put on that. Like, hey, I told Victor, I just went and renamed like the sensitive documents, put like parentheses like sensitive on it, and I told Victor like, hey, um, I'm the only one that can pull sensitive data on it. And you can also toggle the settings like, hey, do you want certain things private? Do you want it for the team as
yeah,
well? But Google, like for the Google Drive, you can set it to private or public. And I was like, well, I want it to be public because I need the team to be able to have access to some of this,
yeah,
but I also need some of it to be private. And so that's the only limitation that I've had reservations on was just how much access the team actually has to everything as well.
yeah.
So, and then also it has like every employee agreement in there, which is sensitive information. I don't want them to be able to, I want to respect everybody's privacy there too. So I had to go in and just put different safeguards on it as well. So that was my main limitation. I was just protecting privacy of our team and access to different documents. So
Nice. Yeah, it's cool that it's so easy to do that because we have some things too, and it's like you just tell Victor, it's like, oh, I'm the only one that can access like this stuff, and no one like when we installed it into the Performance Mastermind Slack channel, so that he can help with like support questions. Um, right away, some of our members went to town on it, and those are our credits that they were using, and they built out like whole dashboards, big projects. And I was like, oh shit, like we're gonna have to nip that in the bud immediately. But I immediately said, it's like you are allowed to answer everyone in this community's questions and provide context. But anytime someone asks to build a project, to create a PDF, create a resource, anything like that, that's when it recommends like go ask your own Victor to do that. I'm here to provide support and help people find the resources that they're looking for and to save credits so that I can help as many people as possible. You need to go ask your Victor to do that.
yeah,
And
that's
then
the thing.
just like that,
I think
only
that's the main thing that I feel bad asking, but it's also the best way to get an answer is people that are using Victor for the first time, it's hard to really grasp the power that he has. And so like when people run into issues with it or whatnot, they ask us, I'm like, did you ask Victor? They're like, no. I'm like, okay, go ask Victor. And it gives you a way better answer than I was ever going to give you. So like that's
right.
the thing too, is like anytime that I was able to have like a difficult time installing something or figuring something out, I just asked Victor, figured it
Yep.
out. Right. So like the great thing about this is he knows how to fix himself. Like if
Yep.
there's something wrong or something's not connected, just ask Victor. So if you
Mm-hmm.
guys come to us about questions, just know I'm just going to say, did you ask Victor? Because
Mm-hmm.
one, I can probably answer it, but I'm not going to answer it as great as Victor. And not only that, I can answer it, but I can't do it for you. Victor will actually do it for you. They're like, hey,
Right.
here's how to solve it. Do you want me to do it for you? Right. And so that's the thing too, is make sure that you're running into issues, just ask Victor.
Right. And something I do want to make clear on that, Victor's not going to always have the best answers for you right out of the box. Why our clients are able to ask Victor and get a better answer than Ben or I have the time to give in the
I
moment
should
that we
say,
were.
I should have clarified. I should have clarified for administrative stuff, like for
Yeah.
tech stuff. Like if you
Mhm.
run into tech issues, but it's like for business stuff, no, like you're gonna have some limitations with that. But like if it's administrative stuff, or like setting it up or just tech issues,
Yeah.
Victor's gonna be able to know better for
Yep.
sure.
Victor can fix all of your tech issues, but what I was getting at is like asking Victor business questions out of the box. It's going to be good advice, but it's not going to be like personalized to Cash Physical Therapy, and it might lead to making some mistakes. The
Mhm.
way that we fix that is by installing Victor into our Performance Mastermind Slack community. He now has analyzed every single question and every single answer that has ever happened in there in the 4 years that we've been running Mastermind. So that's context window number one of making sure that it gives great responses. The second piece is over the last year, we've been developing a new tool called Chat DPT. And this is a chat agent, kind of like Chat GPT, that is connected to our clinical marketer knowledge base that contains every single Slack Q&A question ever answered, every call recording from every coaching call we've ever done, and every single course module we've ever created, so that it has everything. And so we've given that to Viktor. And so now Viktor has 100% context into every single thing we've ever helped someone through, every answer we've ever given, every explanation we've ever provided. And now our Viktor knows more about scaling 7-figure practices than any one of our clients ever will, until they actually get there themselves. And so when people talk to our Viktor, they're getting the right answer based off of years and years of working in the trenches to scale 7-figure cash physical therapy practices.
Yeah,
and so for our inner circle members, they get that API access, so that their Viktor instantly knows every single thing that Ben, Max, and I know about growing cash practices.
Yeah, as recordings over 1,000 hours of trainings. Like, it's connected to all of our trainings that we've done for the last 5+ years, hour-long recordings of mastermind calls, coaching calls, individual trainings that we've created. It's connected to over 1,000 hours of simply business coaching strictly for cash pay PTs.
Yep. So everyone, this is brand new. We're obviously very excited about it. We're going all in on it. We keep an eye out for, our next episode and for our email list, because we're going to be releasing a lot of training, a lot of access, a lot of these skill packs that we're talking about to help you train up your Viktor, to help you automate as much as humanly possible inside of your practice. You can focus on doing the stuff that you love. So if you got value out of this, don't forget to like and share this episode, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.